Passports, most high, everything up. Everything else down. The man, the myth, the legend. My name is Brazil Yesh. Salute to you all. I want to talk about this. It's Super Bowl day. And the game is about to come on. So let me just say this, fellas. Before the kickoff, before the commercials, before the noise, let's talk about the real game. Because what you're about to watch, even if you watch this after everything is over, the post-game celebrations and everything, you're going to come back to this, right? Whether it be a year, 2 years later, 2 minutes later, an hour later. Because what you're about to watch is mastery, discipline, timing, focus. All these men are trained in silence, now performing in front of millions. But the part that nobody says out loud is most men only experience winning by proxy. Oh, I'm already starting. Preach, preacher, church. We sit on the couch, our chest out, we kind of loud. Everything in us is invested in this, but the effort belongs to someone else. And I know you're probably saying in your mind, yeah, I don't really care about that. What is Yesh talking about? And there's nothing wrong with enjoying the game. The trap is forgetting you're in one too. Yeah, I said it. See, life don't come with a scoreboard. The trap is life doesn't come with a scoreboard. Ain't no crowd chanting you when you save money. There's no halftime show when you walk away from getting into it with somebody on the street and the fight and chaos and corruption. There's no trophy when you choose peace over ego. Ain't no trophy for that. That's why it gets skipped over and people they overlook it. Most men weren't defeated. They were distracted. They soft programming y'all now. Overstimulated. Running plays they never wrote. That's what your everyday life is about. You were told success looks like this way. Manhood comes with these people approval. Like how women trying to shame you. You argue with women? Trying to shame you away from making a valid point against what they're saying. That's what they're doing now. They're telling you that noise equals meaning. Being loud and chaotic. That's cap. The real power is quiet. It's confidence. It don't need to announce nothing to nobody. What a real man is. I'm not going to tell you what a real dude is, right? Because I can't put you in that position. I'm just going to tell you, a lot of these guys that are movers and shakers, they ain't loud about anything. And understand this, every player on that field, when you're watching the Super Bowl, has earned his spot through practice and repetition. No, not really motivation, not hype. I'm talking about reps, getting out there on the field. So the same rule applies to a lot of you guys' life. Same thing. And that's why I talk about information and knowledge. There's one guy on TikTok tells him he critical thinking. He a critical thinker and he uses he glad he's logical and a critical thinker. No. You got to correctly, see, you know what's crazy? No one teaches, there's not a football field, there's not a baseball field, there's not anything for critical thinking out here in the real world except in a university somewhere. and say, it's not nobody to say like me, dude, you ain't you're not a critical thinker. People that's logical and critical think wouldn't say the things that you say on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. That's why I'm doing this live stream. See, your finance don't need speeches. They need structure. You don't need no relationship drama. You just need clarity and peace. Your mind already got enough going on, so now it needs order. That's what all of this is about. And the cold part of this all, right? A lot of you dudes don't lose because you're weak. A lot of you all lose because you never slow down long enough to see the damn patterns in life. So, let me just say this. Tonight, I want y'all to enjoy the game. I want y'all to laugh, eat. I want y'all to watch greatness. I want y'all to watch good plays and different things like that. But don't confuse admiration with participation. Because you got a different game you're in. Because when all that goes dark, when the season ends, you're still on the field every day you wake up. And tomorrow, y'all got to go to jobs that you have to wake up to. You have to go to businesses. You have to deal with employees. You have to deal with unruly people. You have to deal with traffic. You have to deal with trains. You have to deal with all of that. So the question isn't going to be who won the Super Bowl. The question is, are you finally playing in your own game, or are you still just watching highlights? So you need to stay sharp. You need to stay dangerous. You need to stay awake. That right there is grown man energy. Peaceful living, clean living. That right there is big clarity. So take that jersey off for a second. I mean, really. Because no team colors, no logos, no slogan stitched to your chest telling you that the world is who it is and you're supposed to be this today. Because the funny thing about masculinity is this. Most of these dudes only feel it or feel like men when they're representing something else. That's what they want you to believe. You feel like a man. They want to remove the actual everyday man, the everyday feeling of life, and say you're only something when you're watching a baseball team, soccer, or something like that. And that means when something else is representing you. A team, a movement, a job title, a relationship, all that loud opinion stuff. In a moment that disappears, you dudes' confidence dwindles, and that's when you start getting in your own head, start talking to yourself. Masculinity ain't no uniform, but we're taught that. Put this on, say this, don't say that. Win here, never lose there. Stay hard, never pause. That ain't strength. That's them conditioning you mentally, fellas. Nothing about that is right. They want you to believe it because it's programming, it's conditioning. It's altering your nature. Oh, man. Let me slow down for a second. I'm getting animated. I apologize. Pooh Man, what up, man? Shout out to Pooh Man in the building. Y'all share the streams on your Facebooks or Instagrams and all of that stuff. Share it real quick. Appreciate y'all for the thumbs up. I know my live streams struggle to get people in here because of the way I talk. These men are conditioned not to like a person like me. That's the one thing I see These dudes are conditioned to hate a person like me because I'm sort of like, they're adults. These dudes in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 20s. And I'm like the father they never had and that they don't like because they never had him around. So these are grown adults and they feel in a certain type of way when you talk and have the demeanor that I speak and the manner that I speak of. So I understand that. So that's why I'm not getting shared. That's why people don't like me. Because people say, yes, why your videos? And that's why I took another direction and I'm going to go in a more philosophical direction instead of hands-on talking about these issues. I'm going to use it from a philosophical lens. All the stuff that I've written all of these years, I'm going to express it on these airwaves because it's better. So a man who knows himself doesn't rush to prove it. We don't have to. He moves a little slowly or slower. He's a little bit more polished, more cleaner, more intentional about what he does. Here's the part that nobody likes to hear, though, fellas. A lot of the men are exhausted because they're acting all day. That's not meant for you to do. You got to act like you don't have an opinion about politics. You have to act like you don't have an opinion about religion. You got to act like you don't have an opinion about a woman hitting a man and a man is not supposed to hit a violent individual that's harming him back. They have to act like they have money in their pocket or else they're going to lose that woman crazy. They have to act like they care about what she's into, knowing that they don't care, they just want to smash. All of these acts that men have to do is getting to you. And you got to act like you're tough, act like you're red pill, act like you are dating, you listen to these dating coaches. You got to, all of this is an act. But you truly don't like me because I'm making you aware of who you are or aren't, and you don't like that. So performing toughness, success, indifference, this is deep down the mind is screaming, when do I get to just be? Fellas, you'll never be in this society. You'll never be in this until as millions of you collectively start moving differently. Bottom line, you don't have to hate women. You don't have to hate men. You don't have to hate children or anything like that. You just need to move differently. Because are you still disciplined when no one watches? Or is that the real you is when no one is watching? See, I go in the crib when no one is watching. I'm still me. I'm me at a job. I'm me on this internet. I told this guy, he always talk about these issues online, right? He always saying, I don't like this. You like them. And always targeting a certain race, right? Because he's black. So he targets a certain race. He always got this to say. He always disparaging about men and talking crazy, right? In these WhatsApp groups. Yeah, he's probably in your WhatsApp group. This guy is probably in your WhatsApp. If you got a guy that's stuck on what he believes and he's pro-color about black, he's pro-color, that's the dude I'm talking about. That's the dude I'm talking about. And no matter what you say intellectually, logically, to destroy his points, nothing, he never falters. He always come back with the same thing. Even if he sounds like he makes these asinine statements. That person is done. I said, well, put your money where your words are. If you like that in the dark, put it out there and jeopardize your employment, jeopardize your livelihood, jeopardize everything about you. See, I don't use the N word, and I'm black. I'm a black American in the United States of America, descendant of slaves, and never use the N word. That's not my verbiage. I don't call women bees. That's not my verbiage. If I do it as a funny joke with the ER on the end, because you know how they say, you say the A, boy, it's all the same. I don't use that verbiage at all. I don't use it in the dark, and I'm surely not going to use it around people. That's just not how I get down. And people that know me know that. That's why these people are frustrated, these men. Many of these men are frustrated because they're acting. They're acting. They're not themselves. They can never be themselves. And they know they can't. Because if you're a good person behind closed doors, you're going to be a good person outwardly. If you're a polished person behind closed doors, you're going to be a polished person outwardly. It's not rocket science. But a lot of these guys can't. They can't be who they really are. They lose their jobs because they just not, a lot of them are just not good people. They're dirtballs. And they want to go behind a movement or a concept to hide behind that because they hate who they are. They don't like themselves. They don't like their position in life. They don't. So let me be a natural. I'm a patriot. Now you want to be patriarchal? Well, are you patriarchal, right? I mean, let me say that. I'm saying the wrong word. Are you a patriot? Let me use the word right, correct word. I'm sorry. Are you a patriot when you heard about how Israel attacked the USS Liberty in the 60s? Were you a patriot that hearing about that now and how nothing was done? Oh no? Are you a patriot about them putting a foreign nation or land or state over your own people? Are you a patriot then? Are you a patriot when this happens, that happens, that? And the answer is no. They pick and choose when they want to be patriots for the United States of America. They pick and choose when they want to be pro-color. They pick and choose when they want to be hateful, non-hateful. Do it all. Let it all out. Don't let nobody stop you. Fear shouldn't stop you. If that's truly you, fear shouldn't stop you. You should go down as who you really are. You should go down how you truly are. See, I put my face out there. I said no dating in the United States of America, and I meant that 10 years ago, and I meant it now. I don't falter from that because somebody said, y'all go over there and just do that. Who gives a flying F? Now, when somebody misuses a word and bastardizes it into its negative form, then I don't use that word or that phrase. And I do that out of a reason because I'm not the one in control. Let me repeat. I'm not the one in control of that word to turn it into something negative. So if I do that when no one is around, I'm going to do that in public and say, yo, I don't want to use this word no more because y'all destroyed it. As I say with the word, certain terms, y'all see me say that for years. People that's been listening to me for over 10 years, they know. Even go back to the blog talk days. You know. I'll say, well, we'll use it. We'll go in a different direction with this. How we phrase this. So are you still centered when there's no applause? Are you still solid when you're alone with your thoughts at 2 a.m.? Are you, fellas? Because being alone in solitude is where fake masculinity collapses. Because being alone with your thoughts exposes everything about you. Everything. And that's why men avoid it. They try to stay busy, they stay distracted, they stay entertained because they don't want to be at home with their thoughts because they don't like who they are. They got to keep putting on an act. They can't be themselves. They don't like who they are. That's why you see people from other countries come to a country and you're like, whoa, where's your culture? Where's your heritage? They lose all of that. You'll see a person come from another country and take on an American name. You're like, your name is John Smith? Those names are forced on the descendants of my ancestors, but you took it on voluntarily? Do you even know how to speak your home country's language? Nope. That's how you dudes do when you go home every day. That's exactly, yeah. You guys are ragging on foreign people who do that, but you guys are American. I don't care what color, ethnicity, you're American. And you go home and you do the same damn thing. You go home and you don't know who that, and you take on someone else's idea. That's why you don't want to be home with your own thoughts. But a man who can sit with himself, no phone, no noise, no validation, that man is dangerous in the best way. He's not aggressive. There's nothing bitter about him or angry. He's just clear. He's wholly clear. Because now we living in a time where masculinity is not domination. It's not. You fellas know this. It's self-mastery. It's knowing when to speak and when to chill. It's knowing when to speak and when to chill. When to, like, I want to engage in that. And when to just straight up walk away. When you need to push yourself in anything you're doing, your endeavors, and when you just need to let your life breathe. And look, this isn't about rejecting sports or culture or fun. Because like I said earlier, enjoy the game. I get it. Go get you some food, go get you some drinks. Go do all of that. Nothing wrong with that. But whenever you into these sports and you into all of this stuff, movies and anime and all of this type of stuff, video games, most of the dudes who don't know themselves or can't sit in a room with their thoughts, they disappear in it. And you're not supposed to let yourself disappear in none of this stuff. None of it. You'll be a fool if you let yourself disappear in this stuff. You see, all of these people who let themselves disappear, they just a bridge away from you never seeing them again. Let me say it like that. They're just a rope away. They're just a shell away from their head from, don't disappear in none of this, fellas. None of these sports, none of these and you dudes are letting yourself do that. I see dudes that I make great talks with, and they still on TikTok arguing and feeling frustrated, and eventually they off themselves. You're like, man, I thought that dude was getting it. Y'all don't get it. It goes in one ear and out there because you fellas know it all. Instead of listening. Or I got to be a white person with an accent for y'all to take my verbiage, for y'all to understand my philosophy, my explanations. I got to be another hue for you to really take me seriously. I know it. That's why y'all don't share my videos. He sounds aggressive. You sound like a, let me stop. Let me stop. So the real question I want to ask you is, can you stand yourself without the costume? Because that's masculinity without the jersey. Whoever you are before the costume, before the portrayal, before the, I go to, I go into something that employs me. It funds my other endeavors. I go there just like myself. I cannot be no other way. I've tried to. It's quite, it's like you're enslaved in your own mind. And no one has the whip but you. No one put you on the ship but yourself. Picture that. The proverbial ship with just you on there. In chains, shackling yourself. You steering the ship and everything. Everything is you. Everything is you. The deckhand is you. The captain is you. The navigator is you. Everything is you on your own enslaved ship. No one else exists. No one. So that's masculinity without that jersey, that costume. That's that unfiltered, unborrowed, unshakable man that you can look in the mirror in a dark room and be okay with your thoughts and what you're looking at. That's grown man business. That's real life wisdom. That alone is presence. I'm talking about. And once you feel that, you never need to prove anything again. And that's the type of time I'm on. Tell them fellas, man. Game about to come on, about to get settled, but don't lose it. Don't lose your identity. After it's all over, reconvene and continue going. Nobody can stop you, man. And that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm going to flood the internet with my philosophical thought to the point it's going to trigger like big and large platforms from my philosophy. My philosophical stance is a bit different. Some stuff, again, there's nothing new under the sun. So some things have been said before, but it's the way you say them. Okay, let me repeat. That's been my quote for years. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything has been said before, but you alter it by the way you say it because you bring a different context to it. That's why I'm so adamant about not, these dating coaches are not, it's crazy how their businesses have faltered. They still trying to live off the money that they hopefully saved from doing their live streams and different things like that. Because they've dwindled. You rarely hear that stuff anymore. You see more of that dude on TikTok that's tall as me named King. You see more of his content where he just sit out in front of clubs and all the women walk up to him. That's the new dating coach now. Everything else is men going on platforms arguing who are not desired. Who make it known that they have vitriol and anger toward women. But now That King 6'8" dude that I seen on so many videos on TikTok. The women walk up to him. They want to talk. That's the new dating coach. Where he says nothing. He don't tell you nothing unless in his live streams. But I seen a live stream that he was doing when he was talking about he don't like fat women, which he shouldn't have did. Your business is women. And you got to push from that. So don't alienate no women. Because that fat woman can share your same stuff just like those beautiful women that you get or that want to talk to you. Hold on. You see, you got to know marketing. So if I was out there, if Yesh is on mainstream, right? Again, he's not mainstream. I get it. I know where you're going with your minuscule thoughts. But he's not mainstream. But if Yesh is on mainstream, you're not going to see me talking about certain things because I've discussed them for years. So there's no need to rehash those things. Let me go in a different direction. If I don't mention something, it's because I know what the business model is. I know how to control myself. And I know for a fact I'm not going to be destructive toward the fellas. I'm just not going to do that. Who we got in here, man? Yo, XL, what up, yo? Jamel, what up, yo? Jamel around the world in the building. Infamy, what up, yo? He said, yes, in the flesh. Salute, brother. Y'all leave y'all comments in there because I'm about to get off in about 10 minutes. So whatever y'all want to talk about, tell me. I'll discuss it, make some, whatever questions y'all have, intellectually break it down. And the best of my ability. So that's what I'm talking about. Pat, what up, yo? That's what I'm talking about. So we have to critically think. We have to look at this from a different vantage point. How I feel about Shabuzi. It's how can I say this, right? When I discuss ignorance, right? The other day I did a clear discussion about ignorance and it's see, black Americans didn't arrive looking for opportunity. We were brought here as property, not workers, not immigrants. Property. And y'all know the descendants of slaves, our labor built wealth that many of our descendants, even till now, was never able to touch. Remember, cotton was king, tobacco and rice. The infrastructures, the ports, the roads, the universities, the banks, the insurance companies, they were built on unpaid hands and stricken backs where they whip the black people. The descendant of slaves, and some people say foundational black, and I get those trying to be controversial. You can't there can never be controversy to their bloodline. Now, to the idea of what they mentioning, you can say, well, these people are divisive, they're separatists or anything like that. I can get all that. But let me repeat, this is not a metaphor. This is an actual historical accounting ledger when I speak like this. And after slavery, there was no clean break. Think about sharecropping. Think about Jim Crow. Think about redlining. Think about terror laws designed to trap people where they stood. So there was no, let me reimburse you for what you've gone through. The crazy part about it, corporations were reimbursed at that time. You need to look it up. And through all of that, Black Americans still built culture, language, music, food, and all that stuff. Y'all know this. Look how they represent faith now. The bounce they put on faith, the music, the style. Everybody's mimicking that. The resistance, the humor, Richard Pryor and all them, Red Fox, all these people. Nothing was imported. That's actually Black American culture. Oh, man, I don't want to get into this. I'm about to drop gems, man. I'm about to drop gems. Who want me to stop? Tell me if you want me to stop. See, I told him to ask the question, and I was going to answer it. That'll take another 45 minutes for me to break down this historically. So this is not a game. None of this is a game. This is real historical facts. And if you don't want men to answer it, that's why most people leave, because they don't want to hear the truth. So when he got on stage and said that immigrants built this country, it is a effing lie. And I don't have to be spouting 3 letters. It's in my blood. I don't have to spout 3 letters. It's in my blood. I don't have to spout ideologies about what's in my blood. That's what you need to tell people. When you speak to people and they say, you guys are divisive, I said, well, my bloodline, pull my blood out of my skin and tell it that it's divisive. Tell her all the trauma being levied down for hundreds of years is divisive. Tell my blood that. Because my mouth is following my blood. Put your blood where your words are. Like I said, put your money where your words are. So I don't have these discussions with people because they just you're going to read them, as they say, read them, and they still going to go about and still not like you and still use terminology. That's why there's no point in this. But it's a point for the people that want to sit online and doing it. It's not a point for me, because no matter how intellectual you are, logical you are, how much you break down people's points, they're going to go home and still put on that damn costume. That's it. Woe is me. I'm victim. And think about this, being a perpetual victim against people that are come from, their blood has that trauma about real victimhood, but you want to be a victim for a lifetime and not getting paid for it. Voluntary, which is totally different from what my ancestors went through, and it stricken me. All the ailments that we have now. They did an article in one of the papers in the United States of America about Israel, how the trauma can be passed down in bloodline. Don't want me to bring that up. I have all that stuff ready to go in these type of debates and arguments. But I only argue people that really want to learn as well as present their points. If you don't do that, it's just a waste of time, man. It's a big waste of time, so I don't do it. But yeah, Shabusi is an idiot for getting up there saying what he said, and whoever else went up there and said what they said. They can kiss a horse's blind spot where the sun don't shine. Man. So I'm going off here. A lot of y'all don't promote my channel. A lot of y'all don't share it. A lot of y'all, I'm out of here.